I am by Nura Sani Magaji, aspirant of the next governor of Nasarawa State. Magaji organized program by SRT. I drafted out my agendas my manifesto focusing on 5 key agendas. First, on my manifesto is improving education, where we focus on the rural areas to build more schools, and also coming back to the urban centers to develop the already existing ones. And also on my agenda and my focus towards improving education, I also want to implement programs to enhance digital literacy, where students will have skills to promote themselves. Second on my manifesto, that is my second agenda, is creating job and opportunities for the youth. In doing this, we have to establish vocational training centers to equip youth or young individuals with relevant skills for employment and entrepreneurship opportunities to deliberately make a positive impact in our country and our dear state. Also, collaborate with local and international investors in order to bring programs and ways to create more job opportunities in our dear state. Also, we want to establish mentorship programs that will guide our youth in exploring in the entrepreneurship ventures and reduce the level of dependency. You as youth, in order to develop your state, it's not good for you to be dependent on the government alone. You have to be innovative, you have to develop skills. In doing this, you have to bring mentorship programs, because some of our youth, they have the skills, but they don't know how to utilize them. By bringing these mentorship programs, we will bring out the best in our youth, and they will not be dependent on the government alone, and they will help in building the economy of the state and the country at large. And also, I would love to improve healthcare and sanitation infrastructure. In doing this, we have to upgrade our existing healthcare system and also build more hospitals and clinics in the underserved areas, that is the rural areas, and to ensure the availability of essential medical equipment and supplies. In doing this, you will improve the healthcare system and our state will be a better place. Also, we have to implement comprehensive sanitation programs where we improve the healthcare, that is the public health, and also wipe away some small diseases that will cause harm to our people. And next in the agenda is promoting sustainable agriculture. In doing this, you have to introduce our youth to the modern agricultural system and provide our farmers with improved seedlings and the modern farming equipment. And also, I want to initiate programs that will improve the marketing system of our dear Nasarawa state. The final agenda is encouraging tourism and economic development. Nasarawa State being known as a home of solid minerals. We are endowed with natural resources. How do we extract them out and develop the economy of our state? Is by inviting international investors and local investors to extract those mineral resources and utilize them in the best way. And also, we have to build recreational centers, we have to build resorts and also hotels that will improve our tourism. Leadership is not a one-man job, it's a collective effort.
Sure.
So therefore, I alone, I can't achieve this. But with the support of our stakeholders, our leaders, and my fellow youths around the state, we can come together and make the life of our youth a better one and also improve the economy of our dear Nasarawa state. Thank you very much.
Okay, let's start with His Royal Highness.
Thank you, Mr. President.
First.
Mr.
Sani Magaji.
Sani Magaji, you're welcome to the program. On this manifesto, I see your agendas, what you intend to do if you are given this opportunity. And and you have not said how you are going to get the fund to implement all these agendas. So here's my question for you. How will you get the fund to implement all these agendas?
If given this mandate, Nasarawa State is blessed with a lot of business people, and through revenue generation, we can raise funds without relying on the federal government allocation alone, because our current GDP is around 4.51 billion US dollars, and
Federally or state?
State.
Okay.
At the state level.
At the state level. And 40% of this GDP is from the revenue generation. So therefore, I will raise funds through the generation of revenue, and also by utilizing our natural resources. We have a lot of natural resources in Nasarawa State, and through farming, if you invest in farmers, you can generate more funds as well. So by inviting international investors to extract our natural resources, we can also raise funds to take care of the aforementioned agendas.
Mr. Sani Magaji, in your manifesto here, I read about involving, you talked about agriculture, on how to mobilize the farmers in the state. And my colleague here asked you a question on how you're going to mobilize the farmers and the stakeholders in farming system. Now, I've not heard you talk about involving the youth. How do you involve the youth in the farming system in Nasarawa State? Because there's a saying that the youths are the power of every society. Now, how do you intend carrying the youth along when, as a governor, if given the mandate?
Thank you very much. Going back to my fourth agenda, here I mentioned promoting sustainable agriculture and food security. The first point I outlined here is encouraging youth participation in modern agriculture. That is, you have to encourage the youth to participate in the modern agriculture. Like now, you don't have to wait for the rainy season before you rear crops. You don't have to go to the bush. You don't have to take your livestock to the bush before you feed them. There are a lot of modern ways that you will follow in rearing animals and also cultivation of crops. Like the modern way of raising tomato. Inside your compound, you can plant tomato and you harvest a large quantity. So therefore, you will now have to encourage the youth to participate in this by giving them soft loans with zero interest, just to improve the economy and also encourage them in participating in this agriculture. I hope I've answered it.
Yes, you have answered part of the question, and you just told my chief here that the generation of the resources will be as easy as you inviting the donors in the state and foreign investors. How easy do you see that?
It's not easy, and also it is easy. The reason why I say it's not easy is, number one, is identifying the investors. Then secondly, how well were you able to convince them? Because anybody who is willing to invest in your state, you have to convince him that yes, he will get back what he is investing with even better interest on it. So therefore, you have to get well-grounded intellectuals among the youth to interact with these investors and also find a way to convince them. Because I can't come to you telling you to give me 1,000 naira to tell you that I want to go and purchase a car and start driving on the road to get passengers without telling you the policy in which I will follow in getting this. So therefore, the easiest part of getting the investors is identifying with the intellectual who are best in that field, because the place we are lacking in this country is through policy implementation. You can't fix a doctor in the agricultural sector and expect him to do well. So therefore, we have well-trained individuals in that aspect, consultants that can be able to convince the investors.
Mr. Nura Magaji,
Yes, sir.
have you held any political position before? Have you been appointed a leader in any group? Are you a group member in the society, any kind at all?
Yes, sir.
What groups?
During my secondary school days, I happened to be the timekeeper for 3 consecutive years, and during my tertiary institution, I happened to be the class rep for 4 years and also the faculty president of the Faculty of Social Sciences in Ahmadu Bello University area. And also currently, I am the state coordinator of Council of African Democrats, and also I am the youth leader of my community. I am also the Secretary General to Nasarawa Western Youth Development Initiative, and I am also the chairman of Nasarawa State Chairman of Anchor Mind Initiative.
Mr. Magaji, I believe all this would have been part of your introductory part in your manifesto, but I cannot find them in your manifesto, and I'm not supposed to ask you. So my advice to you, next time you're going for a program, and first of all, you made mention of Anchor Mind, and with us here is the president of Anchor Mind Initiative. Mr. President, sir.
Yes, sir.
He says he's the Nasarawa State Coordinator on
Anchor Mind.
Anchor Mind. I don't know.
Chairman.
The state chairman. Okay. I don't know how he has contributed to the development.
Yes, Mr. Nura Sani Magaji, based on his experience in all the leadership positions, he has been doing well. But I don't know if you have kept to time, as we say, you are a timekeeper, but you fail to keep to time of what we are doing now, but it's well understood. Mr. Magaji actually have brought significant contribution to anchor mines in Nasarawa State. As you can see here, he's still a young man and trying to see how he can do his best. So far so good. Anchor mines in Nasarawa State are doing very, very well. And probably we are going to, you can all also, your Royal Highness will also investigate because it's coming from Karo. So I believe you are also staying in Karo. So so the Royal Highness is going to check how sincere. Maybe before the end of the day, if you check how sincere, so that the president will not be deceived by social media activities alone. But probably when I visited, they are doing well. So I hope, we pray you are going to do that. But first, Mr. Nura Magaji, despite the fact you are the state chairman of Anchor Mines, that does not stop me from asking you questions, okay? And I don't know if your Royal Highness, you've asked him what are the influence of traditional rulers. That's going to be if given the opportunity, because it's not stated here that you intend carrying your traditional rulers. So I don't know how you intend to prove your carry out the traditional rulers, which I feel any politician that wants to succeed in a state has to carry a traditional ruler. But first, before you answer that question, let me know, are you a resident of Nasarawa or you are a citizen of Nasarawa State?
I'm not a citizen by birth, but I'm a citizen by residence.
Okay.
Because I've stayed in Nasarawa State for
good. So it is understood that you understand Nasarawa State.
Yes.
You are not by birth, but for how long have you stayed in Nasarawa State?
I have been in Nasarawa since 1998.
So how long is that? Because my head cannot calculate now.
That's close to 25 years.
25 years, good. So, and it's expected, according to our former Vice President Yemi Osibanjo, it's expected that everyone who spent more than 10 years should be able to know. So it's a resident. So that makes you qualified member or resident of Nasarawa State. But what interests me here is the issue of tourism. I don't know what is so good about Nasarawa State that you intend attracting maybe local investors or foreign investors to come and invest on tourism regarding to Nasarawa State. Because the forefathers who have been to Nasarawa State, all one can say is business and generating revenue. When people do business, especially in the axis of from Maraba, Nyanya, those axes, I think that's where even the state government even generate most of their revenue. But you bring in the issue of tourism here. How do you intend investing, and what do you want to attract people to come for a tourist? Because in every state there is always something that will attract someone to come to that state. In Nasarawa State, in 1 minute, how do you intend doing that, sir?
Yes, it's no longer a news that Nasarawa State have the longest fall in Africa, situated in Mumbai.
Okay.
Yes, the waterfall in Mumbai is the longest in Africa. And looking at the way our young people coming down to Abuja for recreation during festive period, that baffled me a lot. So that is why I think it's better we build our own recreational centers in our own state, where we come and invest and build our state through that avenue, instead of building another state let's now invest in our own state and make our own economy grow. Because only those who go into it know how much people generate from collecting gate fee during festive period in some of our recreational places. Thank God for Mahatma Garden and our present senator representing Nasarawa West, Wadada, for coming up with the polo field close to Kefi and the Mahatma Garden here just few kilometers away from Masaka. So if by chance we have 10 or 15 of such in Nasarawa state, our people will be happy to patronize, because statistically, going to our hospitals, you see most of the patient taken to hospital is not as a result of being infected by some diseases, but as a result of psychological trauma. So now, you now going to recreational places to have fun, at least it will stable your psychology and you'll be fit. And if we are not fit, how can we develop our states? So that is what pushed me to bring this into my 5 key agendas. We want to make the psychology of our people to be stable, and also I want our people to invest in our own states to build our own economy, instead of going outside our own state to invest to build other people's states.
But notwithstanding,
yes,
I'm not a medical personnel, but notwithstanding, you still have to build on your health sector. And you're talking about, I tend to realize that so many quacks hospitals are still in Nasarawa state. And if given the opportunity, or if given that mandate as the governor, you said you want to upgrade the health facilities.
Yes, sir.
And construction of more hospitals. So that means that as a governor, you're already aware that there are issues, not only in your state, that has to do with health sector. That is very, very key. That has to do with health sector. But what is interesting me, how do you intend to attract the foreign investors to come and invest in your health sector?
Yes. Any concerned citizen or any concerned individual must have that mindset of keeping his people healthy.
So are you trying to tell me that the governors in power do not have concern? Because even when they are given, power is very, very sweet. When if you enter into the position, if we give you the mandate to represent your state, power is very, 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 very sweet. And easily convinced when you are not in power. But when you are in power, they easily confuse us. You understand? So my interest is, you say concerned citizen, and I raise an issue of international investors to come on. What is going to be your relationship even with the local investors concerning health sector?
As earlier mentioned, we have quack hospitals that engage in the sale of hard substances, which is rampant in our local government where I reside. Now, you have to identify with those hospitals, seize their license, and send them to the appropriate channel where they will be penalized. And now you have to build a good relationship with the international investors to show them that this is the problem you are into, and you are seeking for their assistance with a tangible reason, a return. With a tangible reason, a return of something good. not just them coming to
Okay,
invest
Mr.
and
Mr. Nura, thank you. You are so much concerned about food security, but it's not talking about the general security.
Yes.
Are we?
Yes.
That is our first. That is part of the priority, even among the northern zone and probably all in 36 states of the federation. So, how do you intend tackling insecurity in Nasarawa State?
Nasarawa State is known to be a peaceful state.
For now.
If not, yes, for now.
And we hope
if not,
they
with
don't.
the emergence of the Alakio people back then, around 8 to 9 years ago. But all thanks to our state government who try to take care of that.
But how do you intend improving in that? Because if you tell me Nasarawa State is, for now, is a secured place, because I realized that in the last administration we have issues between the neighboring states. You are aware that you have neighboring states, right? And we realize that there are issues of insecurities, and I think the problem of Nasarawa State with the Benue State has to do about land, if I'm not mistaken, sir. Land and probably farming, I don't know. Or maybe that's where your food security is all about. But being concerned as a governor, how do you intend even advising your other state governors to tackle insecurity? Because the issue of insecurity, you can't say that you might not tackle it. You don't wait for the problem to come before you can able to tackle the problem.
Yes.
So how do you intend advising those governors who are facing insecurity in their state? Your neighboring governors.
Okay, my neighboring governors.
Yes.
Good. Number one, they have to identify with traditional rulers. Know their problem. Number two, identify with the rural dwellers. Know their problem. Instead of going with top-bottom policy approach, go with the bottom-top policy approach. Know their problem. And what? Give them what they want.
I want to ask you questions in regards to your presentation now. If you are asked to score yourself now, what will you score yourself, sir?
And what are his votes?
And what are your votes?
The number of votes I earned?
Yes.
I earned 266 votes in the poll.
In the pool.
Yes.
So what do you intend scoring yourself now? If at all given you the opportunity, you don't stop at this level. You have to improve, because remember, this is just the first stage, and hopefully, if given you the opportunity, you are going to make at the presidential stage. All right, thank you very much, and we appreciate you. God bless you.
Thank you very much.